So welcome back to the channel. I'm in Eindhoven today in the Netherlands, on my way to Germany, but I thought I'd pay a visit to a local museum that we could have a look round. Never visited before, wanted to for a while, so I thought we'd take a look at the DAF Museum. So when it comes to DAF cars, one of the things they were famous for was constantly variable transmission, or the variomatic, as DAF called it. And the clever thing about this design is that these belts ran in these cone-shaped washers, and the distance between them would vary depending on the speed that they were turning, and that would change the ratio, effectively the size of the pulley, change the gearing to the back axle. So if you look at this setup, so you've got bob weights here that are thrown out as this spins, as the speed increases, which raises the gearing. Got a differential in here, and you've got one belt to each half shaft to the back wheels, and it even incorporated independent suspension. These are nothing to do with the suspension, these are to do with keeping these discs at the right distance apart. So it was a really clever design, but the weakness in the design was the belts would wear because this was exposed to road dirt. So this is closer to the production standard, the cutaways. So what's just been explained to me that I hadn't appreciated is DAF went into car production because they developed this transmission, and no other car manufacturer. They wanted to sell it to other manufacturers, tried Volkswagen and all sorts of other people, and they didn't want to take it on. So DAF ended up developing their own cars to make use of the transmission. One of the limitations of the system is that the rubber belts, because this was all exposed to the road dirt, and obviously running in friction against these discs, would wear. So they went on to develop, with Bosch, metal belts made up of individual tiny links. And that led to CVT, constant variable transmission, which you can see in here in more modern gearboxes. So here's the belt running through, but the principle's the same. This is a really huge one. And here's a poster showing all the applications since 2013 of the CVT, the constantly variable transmission. One of the things the guys explained to me is that in the 60s, one of the bases for advertising the car was that with this automatic transmission, it was easy for women to drive. So deeply sexist stuff. But as a result, the cars became less popular with men, or they never did become that popular with men. This was the reason that DAF got involved with rallying and motorsport in various forms, is to be more macho, to try and appeal to male drivers as well. So this is the DAF 600, which was the company's, I believe, the company's first car. I'm not an expert on DAF cars by any stretch of the imagination, but this one's from 1961, and this was designed to utilise the variomatic transmission that we've just been looking at. There we are, deluxe model. With two-tone paintwork, very flash. And DAF, first and foremost, being a commercial vehicle builder, of course they employed the same concepts in small commercial vehicles, so vans and pickups. Funny, I recognise this as an International Harvester Paystar American truck. I hadn't appreciated DAF had cooperated with International, and this was meant for the European market as a heavy dump truck, but it used DAF engine and DAF rear axles, but the International cab and I think chassis, it seemed though it wasn't that successful either for International Harvester or for DAF, so it wasn't produced for very long. Well, if you're interested in DAF and in their cars and trucks, or in transport history more generally, I'd really recommend a visit to the museum. There's a huge amount to see here.